Now we're going to talk about the capture opening function in the software. This is one of the most exciting things for me when it comes to the new software here. I had to train many different aspects of our old software in order to execute what we're going to do here in a couple clicks. We have simplified this massively to make your guys' life a lot easier here. Now, there's 3 modes here. So we have capture width, we have capture width and depth, and then we have capture width and depth with seams. What I'm going to show you first here is capture width. When going to use capture width function here, what we're going to do in the software first is we're going to set the width that we want to create this opening off of. So here you see in my software, I got this opening set at 30 inches, pretty standard for a range. Now, we use this function for a freestanding range that's going to slide all the way to the back of the wall here. One very important detail in order for this function to work properly is we have to have that back line there as an unfinished edge, or also if we just scribe our wall back there in the wall color with our default settings, it's automatically going to make this opening for us. Now, what the software is asking us to do is to click the front edge, the line that represents our cabinet edge on our drawing here. So first thing I'm going to do is click on that line. Now the software is asking us to capture 2 points that represent the left and right edge of our opening. What I'm doing here is capturing a point directly onto our stiles or just near the front edge if we don't have stiles in your situation. In my situation here, I can't see the left edge here, so I have a T target. I'm going to aim my laser onto this T target right here, take my first shot. Now the laser is asking me to mark the second shot, the second side of the opening. I'm going to bring my laser onto the stile over there on the right hand side. We shoot that shot. Now you see on the screen there, it automatically filleted our front, filleted our back, created a 30-inch opening perfectly parallel to each other with exact 90-degree corners on each side based off of the center, no matter how big your opening may be set here. We feel like this is really going to speed up your guys' ability to create these on site. Here we're going to show the capture opening function and using it for a farm sink cutout here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to capture. We're going to tap on opening. Up at the top left of the screen there where it says mode, we're going to select width and depth here. Now we're going to set the width on this farm sink right here. I already tape measured this sink. It's 30 inches wide. We're going to want an 1/8 inch negative reveal for our finished edge on our left, right, and back edges here. So I'm actually going to set the width of this opening to 29 3/4. So I have that set at 29 3/4 in the software here. Now our depth from our cabinet line here to the back edge of our sink is 17 inches. So as you'll see here in the software, I have the depth set to 16 7/8, which is going to give us that 1/8 inch negative reveal on the back edge. So now the software is asking us to tap the front edge, the cabinet line that represents our sink run here. Now I'm going to shoot my left point right onto the opening of the farm sink here. Now I'm going to come over and shoot my right point on the right edge of the farm sink there. Now I'm going to shoot a back point here at the back of the sink to tell it which direction to make this opening at. And there we go. We have our farm sink created with our 1/8 inch negative reveal all the way around. Now I've already took the time to use our radius gauges to measure what this radius is in the back corner here. It is a 3/8 inch radius. Now one thing we want to pay attention to here, if we're doing an 1/8 inch negative reveal on this, when you offset technically that 3/8 inch radius in, it now becomes a 1/4 inch radius on our finished dimension. So when we go to fillet this together, we're going to go to fillet, we're going to go to radius, and we're going to choose a 1/4 inch radius here. We're going to hit OK. And now we're going to tap those 2 edges from the left to the back to the right. And now we have those 1/4 inch radiuses. It's extremely important to do this because now we'll have that 1/8 inch negative reveal all the way around the whole cutout here. This is us using width and depth to capture a farm sink cutout.
We want you to be aware that not all farm sinks are square to a front edge. Sometimes they've been glued down out of square. Other times the sink itself is not square at all. Those copper sinks are a common example. In this drawing, we've also captured the sink in the dashed reference line. We can show you the capture points. And in this case, a great way to see what's going on is to come into the distance and parallel tool. We can actually measure the difference between the sink and that edge created by the opening function. Get in there, check with the parallel tool, and possibly manually offset and fillet your edges in. This can ensure a great template and a happy customer every single time.
Now we're going to talk about capturing width and depth with seams here. This situation is for when you have that slide in range and we want to put that 2-inch rail going across the back edge there. So what we're going to do with this, we're going to go into the software. We're going to hit width and depth with seams. Now I have the width set again to 30 inches here. Now the depth I'm going to set at 22 inches based off of the front edge of our cabinets here, which is going to give us that 2-inch rail on the back there. Once I have that set, the software says select the front edge line to base the opening off of again. So again, I'm going to click on the cabinet line that represents my stove run on the screen here. Now it says capture 2 points to mark the left and right side of our opening. So now I'm going to aim my laser over here onto my T-target, shoot my left edge. Now I'm going to aim my laser over here to my right on that style, shoot my right edge. And now what the software is going to ask us is where is the wall? Where's the back of this opening at? Now we're simply going to take our laser, aim it at the back wall here. And when I tap the screen and take that shot, now it creates a perfect 30-inch wide opening based off of the center. And now it gave us that 2-inch rail and seamed it automatically at the edges of our stove opening. So now we have 3 separate pieces created when we use this function here by shooting 3 points with our laser. We think this is a huge advantage to you guys, and it's going to make creating these openings super fast and what we would consider a perfect stove opening. When verifying our dimensions, when we get to the stove opening here, one thing we want to take into consideration is that we made this stove opening based off of the center of this exactly 30 inches wide. Now we all know when we get out on these job sites, sometimes these cabinets are set at 30 1/4, 30 1/2. Really don't know what we're going to get. In my situation here, my opening set at 30 3/4. So what I can expect when I go to verify the dimension across the front here is I should be overhanging this style by 3/8 of an inch. And then when I verify this dimension, I should be overhanging that style by 3/8 of an inch, splitting that 3/4 in half. Now, when it comes to verifying the back edge of this, what we want to pay attention to is that our laser and what we produce there is bigger than what we physically measure with our tape here. We know that these openings are never perfectly square to each other, so we just worry about the fact our stone, our material covers the panel back here. That's what's most important.